Okay, so here is my kefir. Kind of shake it up to loosen the cream off the grains. And then I get my strainer and I sit it down inside the 4-cup measuring cup. And I pour the grains and the milk into the strainer. And I get a wooden spoon and I sort of go along the edges to sort of get some of the liquid down into the cup. And once it starts getting thick, it sort of looks like cottage cheese. I'll set the spoon aside and I'll take the strainer and I will whack it like this. And notice the grains are starting to free up from the cream. And I'll just keep whacking it. Sometimes I'll slide it on the side like this. Get some of the cream off. And eventually the grains just start bouncing around in there. And most of the cream has strained through. So then I set that aside and I get my strainer and I turn my water on. I have a filter and on here, and because they like good clean filtered water, and I begin to strain the rest of the cream away from the grains, and that's cleaning the grains off, getting them ready to eat again. So once I get them all clean, real good, all I have left in there are grains. So then I get a little bowl and I drain knock the grains into the little bowl. These are the grains that I've cleaned out of this jar right so far. Then got a spoon and I stir up the kefir that's in the measuring cup. And I keep these jars in my refrigerator. I have 2 this size. I think these are quarts. And then I also have a 1/2 gallon size. But they have the little lid that clamps. I don't know why I prefer those. I just do. And so then I pour. This where you can see it. All right. I pour the kefir into the jar. Now inside this jar, I've got to get another jar, but inside this jar, I have some orange peel and a vanilla bean. And I cut the vanilla bean down the middle to just release some of the flavor. And these are orange peels. And I've reused these orange peels now for a couple of weeks. Once they start getting kind of soggy, I've put new ones in. But these will keep releasing their flavor for a while. Anyway, close that jar up. And sometimes, you know, it'll get messy around the sides. And I'll just wash the outside like this. And after a while, too, you'll get some buildup on the edges right here from pouring the kefir, and it's okay to just clean that off. And then at some point, when you just can't take it anymore, during the process, before you put new kefir in, you can just clean the whole jar. Just take the orange peels out and set them in a little bowl and just clean the whole jar. But you don't have to. You can even clean around the edges because it'll get kind of dried or goopy on the edges. But you don't have to clean it every time. Just once it gets to a point you don't like it anymore. And so there's your kefir. And you put that in the refrigerator. And this is what's called the second ferment. The first ferment was when it was sitting on the counter with the grains and the milk, and you're waiting for it to start separating. That's the first ferment. The second ferment is where you put it in the jar with the orange peel and vanilla bean and in the refrigerator. And it's really best to wait until the next day to drink that. So that gives it its second ferment in the refrigerator. And before you drink it, you shake it up and pour it into your glass. Now, I have some in the refrigerator here that has been in the refrigerator since several days ago. And this is the kefir that I actually drink. And what I do is I get a glass and I get two packets of stevia, and I put those in the bottom of the glass. And then I get pure vanilla extract, not imitation, and I put a little capful in. I shake it up because sometimes when it's pure vanilla, the sediment will get down into the bottom. Okay. And then I will shake my kefir. Get it mixed up real good. Now, what you need to be aware of is that there are gases that have built up in there, and so a lot of times I'll put a piece of paper towel over the top before I open it. Okay, so that one didn't spew, but sometimes it will. And I'll pour that into my glass. Let me see where you can see it best. There. I'll pour that into my glass. Uh-oh, dropped a vanilla bean in there. Sometimes you gotta shake it around because those orange peels and vanilla beans will try to go in there. Get that vanilla bean out. Spoon. Mix it up real good. And then so you see how creamy it is. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but the way I get mine thicker is that instead of just using whole milk, I'll use about a cup of heavy cream and then the rest milk, so it's kind of like using half and half, and then I drink.